I'm Peter.
I'm Gavin.
And I'm Gareth.
And we are in the basement. Today we are talking about our retail experiences. We have all worked in customer service. We've all had an interesting experience with the general public.
Oh, gosh. I had this one general manager one time. Real nice guy, I swear. Stand-up individual. Trust him with my life.
Good story.
Sure, everybody says that about their boss.
That's great.
So, I used to work for generic blue box retailer.
I wonder who that is.
And I worked in the electronics department. And this is a true story. I need you to understand that. This was back in the mid-2000s. A customer called in and said, I just bought a computer from you. And I said, okay, what's the problem? I hooked it up and it's not working. It's not doing anything. So, as a nerd, I start running through my head, well, is it a wiring issue? Is it a power supply issue? Etc. So, I asked the customer, when you press, is the power turning on when you're hitting the button? No, nothing's happening. Do you not listen? This customer is getting legitimately irate with me. So I said, are you making sure that all the wires are secure? Yes, I hooked everything up according to the instructions. Are there any noises coming from it when you're hitting it other than the clicking sound from the button? Are you hearing any fans turning on, anything spinning in the hard drives, anything like that? No, for the last time, and then there were many expletives that he used to describe me as a human being.
Yeah, well,
and
that's customer service.
Yeah, he said, I told you that it's not doing anything.
Did he plug it in?
So I said, did you make sure that the outlet in the wall is getting power? And he said, what are you talking about? I said, the wall. Did you plug it into the wall? Is that outlet functioning? He's like, this computer did not come with a wall. I have to install a wall once I get it running. But did you plug it into the wall? Like, are you getting power? He's like, no, I didn't plug it into anything. I followed the instructions. Sir, plug it into the outlet. He never plugged the power cable into the computer and into the wall because it wasn't in the instructions to plug the power cable into the computer and into the wall. It only showed him how to hook up the monitor, the mouse, the keyboard, and the printer and everything.
There is very finely detailed instructions included in them boxes. Plugging it in is common sense,
yeah.
I believe.
Yeah, you would think that you would be able to be like,
Yeah.
Hey, customers get a customer aggravation school,
That
man.
is
They
a
know
true
it.
story.
My absolute favorite, though, is returning stuff. Sold at other stores. And then they get upset with you that they tried to return it to your store.
I've never seen that before.
I can't return this part. Well, why not? Because I didn't sell it to you. Who did? And I'm like, probably the store right up the road. Because I didn't, we don't even sell this. Well, I want to return it. I can't help you.
I've seen that more times than you would ever believe.
Really?
Yeah.
See, and that's the thing that I've never really worked any other retail other than what I do now.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I've never had to actually sell anything to anybody that... Because most of my jobs were labor.
So, when you go to any retailer, they have their store brands.
Right.
You would be truly amazed how often somebody will bring one store A's store brand to store B to get money back.
Yeah.
And you would also be amazed at the amount of times that the manager in store B will say, just take it back and give them store credit.
How? Why?
Did we do that?
How are people...
No. So, when I worked for generic blue box retailer,
Yeah.
They would take stuff from generic red box retailer. At one point, I had on the sales floor, and I can say this one because they're no longer a company, there were Toys R Us products. 3 cases of Toys R Us products on the shelf at generic blue box retailer. because they took them all back because the SKU came up in the system, and it said Toys R Us exclusive on the front of the packaging.
I mean,
Like, how does that even happen?
you gotta
Like,
do
why?
what you gotta do, I guess, but...
Why? Why? Yeah, see, back to that customer is always right thing. I don't believe in that, because no, they are not.
Like, the majority of the time,
they
I'm
are
the
wrong.
customer, and I know I'm wrong. I go in looking for experience.
Exactly. Like, when I need something, I go in and I'm like, hey, I don't know what I'm doing here, so can you guys help me out? Like, I expect that, like, that's what I expect from service, but a lot of people anymore, they're like, well, I'm a customer, so what I say is right. And it's like,
I know I'm
No.
wrong.
no, it's not.
Help me!
Yeah,
That's what you're here for.
help
That's
me
what-
out.
That's what I'm gonna pay you
Yeah,
for.
exactly. That's what my money's getting spent on.
When I was a manager for generic blue box retailer,
You
before
love that place.
I hated that place. That is why I left, and I'm in my current position at generic retailer. X.
X.
My store manager went to a store manager meeting at generic blue box retailer's home office in another state. And he came back and he said, this is why we take returns. This company, when you are born, they put a price stamp on your head. At that point, you're worth, I think, $37,000 was the price point they gave us. So, if they need to give up, like, $300 because you don't like something, they know at the end of it, it's going against that 37 grand you're going to pay them.
Right.
Like, that is the price stamp they put on your forehead. And if you work for that company, they have another price stamp for it. And they train you this as a manager. They tell you that part-time employee that you're going to hire is going to spend 82% of their income with this store that they are working in.
Holy cow.
And you are to keep them on payroll as long as you can. And you are to take care of them in as far as like returns and stuff. But on the other hand, if they even suspect you of stealing, it's hard to explain, but they have cameras on every single register, and they will watch that person and replay all the footage. Every time you as an employee walk through the door, they will track your entire movements through the store until they find anything you've done wrong and fire you. Once they think you've stolen from them, you're out the door. It may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but they will get rid of you. It's crazy. They treat you like a criminal.
Wow.
I mean,
See, I've never had that kind of experience. You know what I mean? Like, it's,
I don't understand, like, some people can work there for, like, 15 years, like, under that.
That's why I left. The reason I legitimately left that company is because there was a co-manager, and the co-manager was harassing people. And a position came open, and she decided who was going to get that position before interviews had even started. Like, she told me that you're going to hire this person as this, you're going to do all the interviews, but you might as well just throw out the paperwork because this person's the one getting the job. Now, I get that you want to go with the person who is the best fit for a position, and you want to have an idea going into it, but you don't predetermine stuff like that. That's not right.
Bias.
So I told my store manager. Before I left the office that day, the store manager was on the phone with that co-manager telling her what I had just reported. Like, completely ignorantly. She didn't follow the HR process. She didn't do anything. She was just turning into a dramatic little thing. So then it was about a week later. They said that they were eliminating 3 positions in the store, which was going to result in 17 people being fired. But they weren't telling the people until the positions were eliminated. We just needed to learn how to do all those positions as managers so we could fill in the paperwork gaps until the new automated process came into effect. So we were told that people were getting fired and we weren't allowed to tell them. And that's the day I decided I was leaving the company, and I was gone within a week and a half.
wow.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's what people don't see. That's where, like, the main job loss is.
They make the decisions to get rid of people's jobs and to keep them from becoming full time and everything, but the decisions are made by people who never have to experience that stuff.
That's
So,
crazy.
Like, I wanted to go full time.
do you guys have any other stories you want to share quick?
Like, I've only ever worked one retail at, like, generic store.
X.
X.
I mean, like, I worked for him for a while. That was fun. That's how we met. We had a good time. But see, like,
It was interesting.
yeah, we had fun.
Yeah.
Most of the time. Like, killing bugs outside generic store X.
I've decided I have no stories because I don't.
Everything
I've
involves
never-
hatred.
I've never worked.
Everything
I've never
involves
worked
hatred.
retail.
Just customer service.
Yeah, just customer service.
Customer service isn't fun.
Your
Especially,
customer
like,
service is always involved people being stupid, and then you telling people they're stupid,
Yeah,
and then
well,
those people becoming
in the
angry.
in the nicest way possible. No, and some of them don't even get angry. But you tell them in the nicest way possible, like, I don't know.
I'm always
Listen,
thoroughly upset.
Something I learned when I was selling phones was you can tell somebody they're an idiot to their face. As long as you laugh and they laugh, everything's okay.
Yeah, I've experienced that.
On that, we are going to call it a wrap. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And we will see you on the next In the Basement.
Don't litter.
I'm thinking retail experiences.
Retail experiences.
Yes.
Ooh, let me think of a good couple ones from Advance. Alright, go.